everybody. Welcome back to episode 16 of the Pan American series. Today we're going to be departing from Cusco, Peru, and we will quickly fly by Machu Picchu, and then we will be continuing about 500 or so, roughly nautical miles to the north up to Chagual, Peru. And I'll zoom out here so you guys can see where we're at. So yeah, we are making some decent progress here, and we don't have too much farther to go till we'll be getting up into Central America, which I'm very much looking forward to. But yeah, I won't talk much longer. I will just get with the episode. Hello everybody, welcome to episode 16 of the Pan American series. Just getting the aircraft ready to go here. Already got our fuel loaded up and looked over the aircraft, so we're ready to get going. Let's get rid of some of that noise there. And we will get started with our checklists here. So the pre-flight's complete. Passengers, there are none. Seatbelts secured, the doors closed and locked, batteries off, gear switches down, and the gear is down, the flaps are up. Brakes we've tested for firm, the flight controls. Just confirming they are free. Parking brake is set. All switches are off. Battery comes to on. Gear lock lights are 3 green. Elevator and rudder trim. We'll neutralize our elevator trim here. Our neutral hydraulic shutoff valve is open. Fuel, about 140 gallons on board today. Low fuel warning light is out. Circuit breakers are all in. Nothing popped there. And the altimeter and the clock are set. Engine start, the props are full forward, the mixtures are idle cutoff. Throttles are cracked, like so. The temperature outside, it's about 60 degrees Fahrenheit, so we won't need very much priming at all, but we shouldn't at least. Okay, the battery's on, the low fuel warning is out. Fuel selectors. We'll cycle them. And listen to make sure that they're cycling, which they seem to be. Right fuel boost pump comes on. Mixture goes to full rich. Throttle increases to prime. 1, 2, 3. Off, off. Keep the throttle cracked, and we will try to start it. Okay, maybe a bit of more of a prime. Well, you know what? We actually have the boost pump on. That might be part of the problem. It's because we left the boost pump on. I think we flooded it now. Okay, so it's relatively warm out, so honestly, let's just try starting with no prime on the left engine and see how that works. Or let's just try with very minimal, maybe, priming. There we go. Yep, hardly any priming needed. Good engine start on the left and the right. Suction's good. Alternators coming on. T's and P's look good. Alright. Let's get some lights on here. Get a little bit of heat on. It's not terribly cold out, but once we get up to altitude, it can be a little chilly. We'll get just a little bit of heat on. Alright, let's get our headset on. Nice and quiet. Alright, the engines are warming up. We're going to punch in our flight plan here. Alright, we're going to go ahead and get the ATIS information.
Cho. 1600 Zulu. Arriving and departing runway 28. Wind calm. Visibility 10. View at 5000. Temperature 19er, dew point 2. QNH 1036. Transition level 190. Noise abatement procedures strictly enforced over North Ramp area. Advise on initial contact you have information echo. Alejandro Velasco Astete International Airport, information echo. 1600 Zulu. Arriving and departing runway 28. Wind calm. Visibility.
Alright, runway 28, information echo. Technically it says that the charts and everything say that that nobody's authorized to depart runway 28. The 28 is for landing and 10 is for takeoff. We'll see if air traffic control won't give us runway 10, but I have a feeling they're going to give us 28, so we'll just, I mean, you can see departing 28, you have all that rising terrain, you know, pretty treacherous, whereas departing out this way, you can kind of fly up the valley, so, I don't know, I'm going to try to get it to do what we need it to do, but I'm not going to be surprised if we can't get it to do that, because that is, say, intentions a lot of times in these, non-standard procedures, so yep. Anyways, we're going to call up ground here for our clearance. I don't believe there's a dedicated clearance frequency. Let me check. No, it's just ground. So we're going to call up for our clearance, and then we will get on out of here. Cusco ground, Aerostar, November 702 Sierra Bravo, ready to copy IFR to Chagual.
Aerostar to Sierra Bravo. Información echo is current. Clear to Chagual. After departure, fly radar vectors Gaxun, then as filed. Runway 28. Initial climb 14,000. Departure on 135.0. Squawk 6611.
To Chagual, after departure, fly radar vectors Gaxun, then as filed. Runway 28, initial climb to 14,000. Departure on 135.0, squawking 6641. November 702 Sierra Bravo.
Aerostar to Sierra Bravo. Read back correct.
We called up for our clearance. Clearance has been read back correctly. Now we're just gonna watch some magic vanishing aircraft there, which is always fun. On a more serious note, we'll probably go ahead and do our run up here on the ramp here.
Red Star 90515 boarding complete. Request pushback.
don't see anyone directly behind us, so I don't see any reason not
Red
to.
Smart 9 Air 515, push and start at your discretion.
Engines warmed up at about 1,000 RPM. Should have leaned the mixtures. I don't know why I didn't do that. Anyways, let's see if there's anything else we need to do while we give those time to sit there and idle while leaned. Not really, so I'm gonna do the run up. So, mixtures come to rich, throttles come to 1500. Engine instruments, manifold pressure checks, RPM checks, fuel flow checks, power pressure checks, cylinder head temperature checks. Oil pressure's good, fuel pressure's good, oil temperature's good. Same on the right. Hydraulic pressure's good. Check our voltages. All looking good. Alright, bring them up to 2100 RPM.
Red Smart 9 or 515 ready to taxi.
Red Smart 9 Air 515, runway 28 taxi via main apron Alpha.
Runway 28 taxi via main apron, Alpha Red Smart 9 or 515.
Right mag check. Right mag. Back to both. Left mag. Back to both. Left side, right mag. Back to both. Left mag. Back to both. RPM back. And the mixture's back out a little. Back to 1,000. Alright, we're gonna call up Cusco ground and get our taxi clearance. Cusco ground, November 702 Sierra Bravo, ready for taxi IFR.
Aerostar 2 Sierra Bravo, runway 28 taxi via Echo Alpha.
Runway 28 via Echo Alpha, Aerostar 2 Sierra Bravo. Keep switching up between using November and Aerostar, but we should be using the November call sign. Apparently it's
Red Smart 9 Air 515, contact tower on 118.1.
not common in the US to, or outside of the
Tower,
US
Red Smart 9 or
to
515.
use your aircraft make or model in lieu of your full VIN number. So we'll just call ourselves by registration if I can remember to, of course. And now we're just trying to make a grueling left turn with this nose wheel steering. Everyone's departing 28, so I guess we'll do it.
Aerostar to Sierra Bravo, cross runway 10.
Surely they don't want me to back taxi just yet. Not with that other traffic, there's not, I don't believe, anywhere for us to really hold short down there at the end, so. DR before takeoff, or starter before takeoff checklist. Cabin doors closed and locked, controls are free. And correct. Here's Alpha. It's technically the whole short there, and I wonder if we should have stopped before we got to here. Cusco ground, November 702 Sierra Bravo, holding short of runway 28.
Aerostar to Sierra Bravo, contact tower on 118.1 for departure.
Okay, so I thought they might clear me to back taxi or something, but looks like they're just expecting us kind of to depart. So we do have this traffic down here at the end of the runway. Hopefully after they depart, then we to taxi down there. Which they are going down there. So we'll wait for them to turn around and depart. Then we'll try to head off after them. There they go. Wow, 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 wow. Just trying to watch that aircraft on departure. Alright, well, this will be interesting. Landing lights on, strobes on. Taxiing out. Steering got away from us there a little bit. Oops. Okay, we'll switch over to tower. And that departure frequency is 1350. Call up tower for takeoff. Cusco Tower, November 702 Sierra Bravo, ready to go at runway 28.
Aerostar November 702 Sierra Bravo, Cusco Tower, runway 28, winds 360 at 3, cleared for takeoff.
Cleared for takeoff, runway 28, Aerostar November 702 Sierra Bravo. Right. Mixtures full forward, fuel selectors on, props full forward, boost pumps on, instruments set and checked, radios are set, flaps come to 10 degrees. Trim is set, pitot heat is on. Parking brakes release, throttles full forward. Let's go flying. There we go. I thought our view was a little bit different than usual. Right there's 85, 90 knots, 95 knots. Right, we're climbing away. Gears coming up. Flaps coming up.
November 78 Juliet Kilo holding short of 28, ready to go. November 78 Juliet Kilo, winds calm, runway 28, cleared for takeoff.
Now,
Cleared for takeoff, November 78 Juliet
realistically,
Kilo.
like some people have said, you know, we want to climb at least past the blue line, which best rate of climb for this airplane is 122 knots. However, because of the density altitude, we just don't have the, especially at this airport, we don't have the space to accelerate to that kind of speed. And honestly, I don't even know if we could accelerate and climb out at that speed at this altitude, so. Yeah, we're gonna just kind of meander this way because we're not gonna make it over this terrain otherwise. So that is probably why departures off of runway 28 are not authorized. When the Airbus had a hard time doing it, that we probably would as well. And the thing is, too, we can try accelerating, you know, up a bit, but it's just going to bleed off when we try to climb. And especially in terrain like this, we need to be climbing, so. Alright, let's bring the props back to 2400 RPM.
Aerostar 2 Sierra Bravo, contact departure.
Over to departure, number 702 Sierra Bravo. Have a good day. Cusco departure, Aerostar number 702 Sierra Bravo, climbing through 3,000 feet for 4,000. Got a lot of fuel on this leg too, so I actually don't know what our climb performance really is going to look like. So autopilot master. Let's go autopilot on, heading and attitude hold. Switch over to GPSS here. Get some heat on now that it's about 60 degrees Fahrenheit here in the cabin. And we'll go to our climb checklist. Max climb's 122 knots. Again, I really don't think realistically we're going to be seeing that kind of speed indicated at altitudes like this. I just don't think it's going to be happening. We'll try to increase to those speeds, but again, I don't think at the altitudes that we're at, I don't think we're going to be seeing that. And we are 32 miles from our user waypoint here, so 32 miles and be over Machu Picchu. Excuse me. Alright, so we're coming up on that blue line speed. Do you think we're just going to have kind of a hard time climbing out? But, we'll see what we can do. No, maybe we'll climb better at that speed. Maybe that's just my misunderstanding of how that works. I don't claim to be a professional, so I do appreciate your guys' feedback on these videos. You know, as long as you guys understand, you know, I do this for fun. This is a hobby for me, so I do appreciate any insight. But again, I'm not claiming to be a professional or anything. So I'm sure it's you know, potentially frustrating watching me do some of the things that I do on here, but I do appreciate your guys' viewership, and I hope that this series is interesting for you. Not sure if there was a malfunction on my end or if I missed the transmission, but it looks like we did receive an instruction and a transmission from departure. And the instructors to go over to Lima Center on 128.1. So that's what we're going to do now. Lima Center, good afternoon. November 702 Sierra Bravo, climbing through 15,400 for flight level 200.
Sky Peru 5173, descend and maintain flight level 220. Cleared for the Nux on 2 Alpha arrival into Juliaca.
Descending to flight level 220. Cleared for the Nux on 2 Alpha arrival into Juliaca Sky Peru 5173.
Lima Center, November 78 Juliet Kilo 11000.
November 78 Juliet Kilo. Radar contact.
Alright, they seem to be climbing okay. About 400 feet per minute, so that's
Aerostar
not...
2 Sierra Bravo. Direct Jackson. Then as filed, please.
Direct Jackson, that is filed. November 702 Sierra Bravo. Climb a little bit faster, preferably. Lima Center, Aerostar, November 702 Sierra Bravo with a request.
Aerostar 2 Sierra Bravo. Say request.
We'd like to request permission to do a couple of laps around Machu Picchu before proceeding direct to Gaxon, please.
Lamperu 2075, contact Lima Center on 128.5. Aerostar 2 Sierra Bravo, negative on laps around Machu Picchu. Proceed direct, Gaxon cleared.
Roger, we'll proceed direct to Gaxon, Aerostar 702 Sierra Bravo. Alright guys, we heard it there. They denied our request to do a couple of circuits around Machu Picchu, so...
Lima Center, land Peru 2075, flight level 200.
Lamperu 2075 es radar contact.
Well, we'll be crossing it in 12 miles. So I think we're just gonna tell them, oh, we were direct Gaxon. What do you mean? We were proceeding direct Gaxon, of course we were. There's 17,100. Speed's starting to come back. I did see suggestions too to cruise at a lower altitude for better performance. Obviously, I'm aware that we would be getting better performance not at these higher altitudes, but
Lamperu 23906, descend and maintain flight level 210.
Part of the issue that I'm running into is because
Down to flight level 210, land Peru 23906.
I only have so much time to be doing these flights, and oftentimes the routes that would allow me to stay...
Lamperu 5757, descend and maintain flight level 270.
descending to flight level 270, Lamperu 5757.
A lot of times the routes that would allow me to stay at lower altitudes, flying through, you know, such extreme mountainous terrain such as this, unfortunately is just routes that, you know, fall in the valleys or whatever, is going to take a lot more time than I have to complete this journey, which is the unfortunate part of this journey is that I did set an endpoint that I'm trying to make, so I am trying to, you know, kind of complete it within a certain
Aerostar
time
to
frame.
Sierra Bravo. Can you please expedite your climb to flight level 200?
Affirmative, Aerostar, number 702 Sierra Bravo. We're currently at our best rate of climb due to altitude. Turn a bit to the right here. Oh yeah, so essentially, part of the reason, you know, that I am choosing to fly at such high altitudes, and that I'm taking the routes that I'm taking, is partially just because of expediency, basically, in getting these done, as well as these are kind of the more interesting areas to fly into, so I knew it was going to be a challenge in the Aerostar. So that's obviously something I was aware of, but yeah, not something I would normally be doing. I wouldn't normally be taking this plane up to 20,000 feet. And once we get out of the mountains, I don't plan on flying it this high. We'll probably be cruising at 10,000, maybe 11,000, if that. So, but definitely aware that this is a little bit out of the performance scope of this airplane. Alright guys, I believe this is Machu Picchu right here. Boy oh boy, does it not look good at all from this point of view. Wow. Alright, this may be a little bit underwhelming, but it is what it is. In the future, if you guys are interested, I can make a bespoke video visiting Machu Picchu, but that is it down there. Apparently this is like some sort of trail that you follow up to the top, and then Machu Picchu's here.
6181, flight level 350.
But yeah,
Avianca 6181, radar contact.
don't quite have the time and the performance to dive down there and get a closer look and then come back. That would just be a little bit too much and a little bit out of the scope of this video. So I do apologize, guys. I thought we were gonna get a better look at it. Alright, anyways, with that said and done, now we can go direct Jackson, like we have been this whole time. We totally never veered off course. It's okay. Mountains here, honestly, are incredible. Obviously, we have the Rockies in the United States. We have the Rocky Mountains and the Appalachian Mountains as well. I'm a lowlander. I'm from the Midwest, so You know, we have the Ozark Mountains, which most people would call hills. Right, we're still climbing pretty good, pretty decent, so. Trying to pitch down to pick up a little bit more speed. Well, basically back to what I was saying before though, I don't want you guys to think if you do leave a tip or feedback or something in the comments, and you catch me, you know, not doing it or doing something wrong that you've already told me about, I don't want you to think that it is me ignoring you or trying to be rude, because I do read all your guys' comments. I do appreciate when you guys comment on the videos, but at the end of the day, this is I do this mostly for fun. You know, I try to do a good job at it, but obviously I'm not trying to be a perfectionist or anything like that. So I'd probably make some recurring mistakes that I probably will continue to make. Anyways, to summarize my point, basically, you know, I do appreciate the feedback. I do appreciate the tips and tricks and help. I just I don't want anyone to think that I'm not taking in information or anything like that. 36 degrees in the cabin. Wow. Is the cabin heater on? Yeah, we have it on. And the fan's on high and the blower's on. Oh, you know what? It's because I'm silly. Watch what a difference that'll make in about 5 minutes. Yeah, I'd say shoving 20 degree 20 degree Fahrenheit air into the cabin at 120 knots is probably not the best way to keep your cabin warm. Alright, we've got about 300 feet to go to our cruising altitude. We're at 19,700 feet. Probably gonna let the airplane just casually keep climbing on up. I'm gonna try to climb maybe a couple hundred feet above 20,000, and that way, while I'm pulling the props back and getting the mixture set and everything, you know, hopefully if we lose a little bit of altitude, we'll still be above 20,000. But yeah, we're almost to cruise altitude, so that's good. And then once we get up to cruise, I will get some cinematic shots for you guys, and then we'll be back closer to our arrival into Chagual. Alright everybody, just checking back in. see, we have our calculated top of descent out here. And then we have our just visual runway 14 approach. So this isn't the actual way that we want to come in. This is obviously just the Garmin just generating a straight in kind of visual approach. But that's not really the way we want to do this, because obviously we're at 20,000 feet. Airport elevation is 4,000 feet. So there's no charts for this airport. But basically, the way that this works is we're going to basically probably overfly the airport, maybe even come up to this valley here, and then I'll probably actually create maybe a manual waypoint here. Now we just have a rough flight plan essentially.
Aerostar November 702 Sierra Bravo, Lima Center, descend altitude 5,000 feet. Turn left heading 325. Vectors for the visual runway 14 approach.
Turn left to heading 325, descend to altitude 5,000 feet. Vectors for the visual runway 14 approach. Aerostar November 702 Sierra Bravo. Alright, so we'll follow that heading. I'm gonna be honest, I don't fully trust them, especially being 106 miles away. I don't know why we're already descending. The valley's pretty tight, if I recall, to Chagual, so really to me it makes a lot more sense to kind of approach from the north, which means that we probably should not be descending yet. But if that's what they're going to want us to do, so I guess we will follow their guidance. But of course, if we get too low to the terrain here, obviously we're going to stop and reevaluate things. So we'll give them a chance, try their way, and if it doesn't work, then we will go back to our idea. So heading 325 and descending down to 5,000, and I'm in no hurry to do it. In no hurry at all. Already the terrain is pretty foreboding, even at 19,000 feet. So I really don't think that we're going to end up descending into this valley.
Tarak 4223, descend and maintain flight level 190. Cleared for the Paddies to arrival into Jorge Chavez.
Leaving for flight level 190. Cleared for the Paddies to arrival into Jorge Chavez, star up 4223.
We're going to descend to about 18,000 and then
Aerostar to Sierra Bravo, contact Lima Center on 128.1.
over to Lima Center, 128.1, November 702 Sierra Bravo. Lima Center, good afternoon. Aerostar, November 702 Sierra Bravo with you. Descending 18,700 for 5,000.
Aerostar November 702 Sierra Bravo, Lima Center identified. Good afternoon.
So, you know, we're gonna level off here at probably, I don't know, probably 16,500 maybe. And, if ATC tries to get us to descend any further, I'm just gonna tell them, you know, we'd like to cancel IFR at this time, something like that. just continue on our own, picking up a little bit of... Oh, that's terrain. I was thinking that was the next round.
Flight level 320.
Lampeter 2383, radar contact.
Yeah, but I mean, we're still 80 miles out, so... Just gonna put this back to terrain. Gonna stop us at 16,500 feet. I'm gonna go direct to waypoint 1, and I'm gonna cancel our IFR flight plan. Even though there's quite a bit of cloud cover here, but I would rather take my chances with clouds than with ATC flying me into the hillside here. Start to level off.
Lima Center, Copa 760, flight level 330.
Copa 760, radar contact.
I forgot about resetting the altimeter now that we're down below transition altitude here. I mean, yeah, I can already tell by how close we are to this terrain that, you know, air traffic control is not going to keep us from this terrain at all. So, we're still 70 some odd miles out. Stop this descent at 16.5.
November 4345 contact, Lima Center on 128.5.
We'll go direct to flight plan 1, activate. And we're gonna go with what we had planned for. Maybe we won't cancel IFR just yet. Boy, oh boy. Just kind of have that direct to that next waypoint in case the vector that they have us on is not good, but I'm gonna try to trust it. Obviously, we're not gonna descend below 16.5 for right now, but I'm gonna try to give Say Intentions the benefit of the doubt. Yeah, we're doing okay. Have our terrain radar here, and probably we'll get back with you guys when we're a bit closer to Chagual. Or if I end up canceling IFR, have to tell off, you know, air traffic control or something. We'll see. I'd prefer to be at this altitude, you know, and excuse me. I prefer to be at this altitude and turn around and then descend into one of these valleys, as opposed to descend into one now and then get somewhere like here and have to make, you know, kind of a sharp U-turn or something. Which maybe say intentions will get us down, you know, as far as the vectoring goes, but
Lima Center, land Peru 2228, flight level 180.
We're just gonna play it
Land
by
Peru
ear.
2228, radar contact.
We're just gonna play it by ear, as far as seeing how things go, and you guys will find out, as I do, what we're gonna end up doing here. A little bit of precip. Just a tiny bit.
Baron 51 Zulu, contact Tingo Maria on 118.7.
118.7 for Baron 51 Zulu.
Okay.
Good day.
Active Sky must be updating the weather on us here. Wow, absolutely gorgeous. There are no charts, technically speaking, for Chagual, but I will pull up an image kind of the runway configuration in the valley and everything that it's in, and kind of show you guys what we're working with. So basically, it sits in this valley. There's a hillside to the north of the airport. Basically, you know, you want to land on runway 14 because coming in the other way, you have to come in extremely steep. I mean, it's just a complete non-starter, at least as far as I'm aware. You know, runway 32 is not really an option. So basically, you fly down the valley from the north to the south, and then you kind of come around this hillside or this mountain, come around the corner, and they make a decently sharp left turn, I'm pretty sure, to line up with the runway. So we'll probably, you know, overfly and get to the north, and then we'll start descending. We'll put our flaps in, put our pumps on, all that good jazz, you know, get in the valley, get down to about 5,500, 6,000 feet or whatever, and then once we know that we're coming up on the airport, we're gonna have gear down, flaps down, you know, ready to basically focus on just making that turn and getting the plane on the ground. Just taking another look out the window here. Again, a lot of these river valleys are just very tight, very narrow. You know, the terrain is just rising so sharply. So it's not really something I want to get into until we are facing the right direction. Although with this weather, we'll see. Hopefully it's not too thick of a layer, or else we might have to divert elsewhere, honestly. Which I would like not to do. Trying to kind of just keep an eye out the window, see what the weather down below is looking like. Obviously, we're still getting some cloud cover up at this elevation, but we're over 10,000 feet above, you know, where we're going to be landing, so. A little bit of lightning there off to the west. Wow, absolutely gorgeous terrain. These little lakes kind of dotting the tops of the mountains here. Be an amazing place to get some bush planes fly in and do some fishing. The weather is not looking too promising over that way. I want to cut over right there. That's what I want to do, but I think we'll have to go north more and then back around. If I go to these waypoints I've defined, then at least I know that will take me in a valley, kind of down the correct way. But these are only just kind of...
Aerostar to Sierra Bravo, turn right heading 005.
Turn right to 005, Aerostar to Sierra Bravo. Okay. Maybe it's got an idea here for me. This is honestly giving me a little bit of confidence that maybe it potentially knows what it's doing. I mean, I'm still skeptical because of the immediate descent to 5,000 instruction.
Aerostar to Sierra Bravo, descend altitude 4,000 feet.
See, the field is at 4,000 feet. How can you tell me to descend to 4,000 feet? I'll just tell them we're going with it. Descend 4,000 feet, Aerostar to Sierra Bravo. Maybe I'll descend a little bit. Just a wee tiny bit.
Aerostar to Sierra Bravo, turn right heading 080.
Turn right, heading 080, Aerostar to Sierra Bravo. No, I don't like that. We're gonna do our own thing here. Lima Center, Aerostar, November 702, Sierra Bravo. We'd like to cancel IFR at this time.
Aerostar to Sierra Bravo, roger. Radar services terminated. Squawk VFR, frequency change approved.
Alright, now it's all on us. And I know that technically this, it's not VFR conditions, and we probably shouldn't be doing this. I totally get that. Really hope that the weather holds up long enough for us to get in here. So I think that's doable. I think we'll be okay. But this is definitely not VFR. Don't come at me in the comments. I know what I'm doing here is not the safest of things. But that's why it's a simulator. Look at that. Just like that, the mountains disappear. And we'll do our approach checklist. Boost pumps come on. Mixture is full rich. Fuel selectors are on. Flaps can come to 20 degrees below 175 knots. Gear down below 157. Put our landing lights on. Right, and start descending. Boy, oh boy. Got our prop RPM already at 2400, and we'll probably leave it there for majority of the approach, and then just before landing I'll just bring them all the way up. Come down to flaps 20. A little bit more. That's about flaps 20. Now we can start descending more. Okay, this is thick soup. Okay, we're starting to break through a little bit. That's what we're hoping for. Still see some descent here. Let's keep it going. Well, I say that and then we get right back into the thick of it. Back our power a little bit. Don't want to get going too quick. Now we're en route to waypoint 3. Pull our power back a little bit more. Try to keep up on that rate of descent here. Boy, oh boy. Do I hope that these clouds let up at some point. Okay, so far, the path that we have plotted out here looks plausible, but it's only going to be good for so long. Because it wasn't, it's not precisely plotted here or anything. So, just want to keep the rate of descent up. Definitely don't want less than 1,000 feet per minute because need to know sooner rather than later if we're going to break through these clouds or not. Because if not, there's no point in even continuing to attempt this. Right, we've got this terrain here we got to kind of watch for. Got terrain over here. Still not coming through the clouds. But honestly, that looks pretty good. Below 10,000. Still descending at about 1,000 feet per minute. This weather is a lot worse than I actually anticipated it being. I was really thinking it was just going to be a thin layer kind of above and that we would break through kind of last minute, or not last minute, but once we descended kind of below the tops of the mountains here. But wow. Yeah, come on. Let's break through. coming down through 8,000 feet now. 7,500, so we've got, what, 3,500 to go to field elevation. Look at the terrain just closing in. Okay, see that terrain ahead of us? That's not gonna work. So now, we're gonna go, oops, that's, I'm gonna go heading hold mode. Goodness gracious. Just slope the rate of descent a little bit here. I'm actually going to bring the autopilot off now. Which I know sounds risky, but we're at 5,800 now, so 1,800 above field elevation. Oh yes, please break out of the clouds. Let's break out of the clouds. We do not need cloud cover. Okay, we're just gonna hand fly up along this valley, and then once we get close, we'll just drop the gear, drop full flaps. Shooting our best shot, basically. This is honestly one of the ports I've been most nervous about flying into in this series, so. See how it goes. I think that was waypoint 4, which means we still got, yeah, about 10 miles to the airport. So, you know, we're probably a little low, but I wanted to try to get visual separation with the terrain and kind of get into the valley here, into this groove that we're going to have to follow. We're kind of leveling off about 5,300, somewhere in there. I don't want to go below 5,000, so I'm trying to give myself a cushion because it's a little bit distracting on the brain. So I just don't want to get too low. Default nav. To the airport, 8.5 miles, we'll call traffic. Chagual traffic, November 702 Sierra Bravo is 8 miles to the north, inbound down the valley, full stop landing runway 14, Chagual. Chagual. Not saying that right, I don't think. The other thing is I don't know how tight of a landing this actually is, so like I don't know if I should be down here following these. I don't know if this is, you know, high enough, if it's going to be a more gentle turn. I've never done this in the sim or in real life or anything. The one time I did it in 2020 was so long ago that I really can't remember it, other than I just know that I've flown in one time. And it was probably with a buddy, probably, you know, flying around, just checking it out, messing around, not really taking it too seriously, so. Yep, 5 miles now to the airport, so. Do our landing checklist. Flaps go full down and power to 100 knots. Gears coming down now. Zoom in another notch. Send down now to about, I don't know, maybe 5,000 feet. Really descending down now with that extra drag. No, this was a bad idea. Oh my goodness. Sending, don't want to be doing that. Of course, the weather would pick up right here, right as we're coming up on the airport. Okay, it's right around this left. Let's go. Full flaps. Props full forward. Easy, easy. Alright, well, if that wasn't the, honestly, one of the most terrifying approaches I've ever done in all my years of flight simming, then I don't know what is. Chagual traffic, November 7020 Sierra Bravo clear, ever runway 14, Chagual traffic. Wow, that was, yeah, alright, that was something else. And I guess we'll, probably shouldn't park. Well, yeah, we'll just park right here. Why not? We won't have to walk too far in the rain. There we go. Okay, I'll call that good. Alright, set the parking brake. Bring our props back to 1,000 RPM. Ooh, boost pumps coming off. Landing lights. Nav strobes. The heat. It's 80 degrees in here, so that's ridiculous. Especially when the outside temperature is, oh yeah. Yeah, it's warm weather. It's almost 90 degrees outside. No heat. Alright guys, I'm honestly still trying to kind of decompress from that. That was something else. I was not sure how that was gonna go. I'll say that bluntly, I had no confidence up there until I made that final turn, and then I realized I turned a little bit too soon. You know, I saw where there was kind of like a cutout in the trees, and I was like, oh, that must be the runway, so I kind of, you know, banked back over, and yeah. Wow. Definitely not ideal conditions for flying into here, but will definitely make for a great memory. I'm glad to have done it on video, have it here on the channel. Alright, well, parking brake's set. Let's just go through our after landing checklist. The props are full forward, flaps are up, boost pumps checked off, trim tabs are neutral. Perfect. Look at that. Oh wait, actually, are they? Okay, yeah. I can't remember if that gauge was powered by avionics or not. Cabin heater is off. Parking brake is set. Engines, honestly, I'll probably let them idle for a couple of minutes to cool down since it is pretty warm. Although, honestly, though, then I also don't know if they will cool down much more. And radios and lights are all off. Yeah, that'll be a shutdown checklist. That will do, once we shut down. I'm just gonna let them idle and just see if they cool down anymore. Oil temp right now is at 85 degrees on both engines, so I'm gonna give it just a couple of minutes, see if it doesn't cool down, and if not, then we'll just assume it's not gonna cool down much more. Which, I mean, again, it is almost 90 degrees Fahrenheit here on the ground in Chagual, and that is with all this lovely overcast skies and rain, so no, just give it a couple of minutes and then I'll be back with you guys. Alright, so I sat here for a few minutes, and if they are cooling down, it's just very marginally, so I'm going to say that's probably as good as we're going to get. So I'm going to go ahead and shut off the engines, beacon off, boost pumps off, fuel shut off valves to cut off, and plug our headset here, and off, and shut down, mags off, fuel selectors off, alternators off, batteries off. That's all there is to it, folks. Alright, well, I appreciate you guys coming along that journey with me. Definitely one for the books, in my opinion. That was unlike anything I've done in quite a while. So that's the kind of adventures I was hoping to have on this journey. But yeah, we will let the plane sit here. We're definitely not leaving out of here until the weather gets better. So maybe the rain will, hopefully it can help wash some of these bugs off. If it rains hard enough, I don't know. Alright, well, I think that does it. I think we're going to walk up here to this little airport building and get out of the rain. But yeah, if you guys like this episode, make sure to hit the thumbs up, give it a like. Lets me know that you like what I'm doing here on the channel. I guess I can't actually can't walk up this, so we'll walk up the terrain here. But yeah, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Let me know that you like what I'm doing here. If you want to stay tuned and be notified whenever I upload the next video in the series, make sure to subscribe to the channel, click the bell, and you'll get notified whenever I upload or post. In addition, if you want to see all the previous episodes, I do have a playlist on my channel, and it'll be linked at the end of the episode, where you can see all the previous flights that I've done so far. This is episode 16, and we're not even halfway done yet, so... But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And yeah, until next time, take care, stay safe, and happy flying.